War is peace, chaos cease, release, battle cries echo, a twisted masterpiece. In destruction we thrive, our souls entwined, embracing darkness, believing the lies. Ignorance is strength, the blindest embracing shadows we hide, losing sight of grace. Freedom is slavery, chains we adorn, bound by illusions, our will to be torn.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first episode on our Doublethink Newspeak YouTube channel. We are keen to kickstart our series with a deep dive into the ongoing developments in Ethiopia. We invite you to subscribe and like our channel as we forge ahead on this path of exploration and discussion. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed came to power in 2018 on a wave of popular support. He promised to reform the country's political system and end the long-running conflict with neighboring Eritrea. However, in recent years, Abiy's popularity has declined sharply, particularly among the Amhara people. The Tigray war, which began in November 2020, has had a devastating impact not only on the Tigrayans, but also on the Amhara people. Millions of Amharas have been displaced and many have been killed and persecuted. During the initial months of his premiership, Prime Minister Abiy, true to his words, initiated ambitious reforms, freeing thousands of political prisoners, lifting restrictions on the press, welcoming back exiles and opposition parties that were banned, appointing women to positions in his cabinet, opening up the country's tightly controlled economy to new investment. In addition, he brokered a peace deal with Eritrea, which earned him the Nobel Peace Prize in 2019. Regrettably, while making peace with Eritrea, he excluded the previous ruling party, the mighty Tigray People's Front, from the peace process. This created a wedge and mistrust between him and the Tigrayan party, which eventually led to 2 years of bloody war. During the war against the Tigrayan forces, the Ethiopian Defense Forces were supported initially by the Amhara Regional Special Forces and later the Fanos, or the People's Militia Army, to thwart the Tigrayan forces' march towards Addis Ababa through the Amhara and Afar regions. The war ended with a peace accord signed by the Ethiopian federal government and the Tigrayan leaders. This did not sit well with the Amharas' political elite, because the peace process excluded those regions that participated and were affected by the war, namely the Amhara and Afar regions. This only increased the mistrust the Amharas have had of Abiy and his administration. The mistrust already began when armed groups in Benshangul and Oromia regions murdered Amharas in hundreds, and Abiy and his administration did nothing to protect the Amharas or bring to justice the perpetrators. According to the Amhara Association of America, over 10,000 Amharas have been killed and over 2 million have been displaced in Oromia and Benshangul regions since the start of the Tigray War. The peace accord between the Ethiopian federal government and the Tigrayan leaders left the questions of land disputes between the Amhara and Tigray regions without clear answers, and Abiy gave ambiguous answers when asked. Nevertheless, it was clear from the pronouncements of Tigrayan leaders that the disputed land would be handed back to them, a betrayal of promises made to the Amhara. Prime Minister Abiy, to quell any opposition to his plans, imprisoned thousands of Amhara Fanos and several demobilized high-ranking special forces officers without due process of the law, but in the name of enforcing the law or maintaining peace and order. The government killed many young people extrajudicially. The Amharas felt not safe even in their own region. The straw that broke the camel's back, however, was Abiy's decision to disband the Amhara special forces and disarm by force the Amhara Fano, made up of the Amhara population from all ranks of life. He doubled it down with the incarcerations of many prominent Amhara intellectual critics of the government and journalists critical of the government. These resulted in the Amhara special forces and the Fano joining together to defend themselves and their population in the war against the government. Currently, the Amhara region is entrenched in a severe conflict, witnessing tragic losses daily. The Amhara community stands defiant, resolute in their determination to protect themselves against perceived genocidal actions. This dire situation poses critical questions. Can Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed steer towards peace through negotiations, or does he perceive peace as a threat to his leadership? Is there hope to rescue himself from being known in history as the leader who started well but ended very badly? And for the Amhara fighters, what does it take for them to lay down their arms and embrace peace? In our upcoming episodes, we hope to delve deeper into these pressing concerns. So thank you for your time, and may peace prevail.
ኢትዮጵያዊነት ውድ መልኬን ነጋጠባት አላወልቅም ባንዲራዬ ልቤ ላይ ነው የለበስኩት ከልቤ ላይ አላጠፋም ያበሻነት ታሪክ ኩርሴን እሰዋለሁ ለአንዲት አገር አንዲት ነፍሴን ፋኖ ለነጻነት ፋኖ ለአንድነት